In this previous lesson, you have learned about why sustainability. So now we will debugging the major sustainable myth. So what is the purpose behind the debugging of sustainable myth? To challenge the misconceptions about sustainable myth that makes it difficult to understand and take an action and make a progress on sustainability. So what is the importance of debugging of sustainable myth? To understand the truth behind the myth of sustainability and empowers the individual businesses to adapt the sustainable practices confidently. So myth number 1 is sustainability is expensive or it's for rich. But the reality is, while some product has an upfront high cost, but their long term is saving money and reduce their resources like water, energy, and material use. Let's example if you buy a one steel bottle that costs you approximately 300 minimum, but in a data point you are saving tons of plastic bottles for a lifetime if you care about it then. The myth number 2 is my small actions won't matter. Only companies and politicians should fix it. But the reality is individual choices matters when it multiplies across billions and create a large scale impact. So one person throwing away 1 kg of a plastic daily, that means 30,000 of a plastic waste throwing in a lifetime. That means a person throwing 30,000 kg of plastic waste. And you can multiply by a population for a massive impact. The grassroots movement and consumer demand has been driven by the corporates and the policy shift from worldwide. But the reality is the Indian has always lived a sustainable life from the ages, from having a home cooked food, from carrying a cloth bag, from carrying a reusable bottle. Everything we are using from the ages. These are our mindset and habits from the ages. But now we have forgotten. We have left these habits. Sustainable habits are simple, accessible, and based on mindfulness. It's not about the wealth or status. So everyday action is like carrying your own reusable cloth bag, own reusable bottles, and repairing rather than discarding. That will create a significant impact. The myth number 4, we are not responsible for this. Others should take care of it. It's none of my business. But the reality is, Earth is shared. It's a closed-shaped planet. And if pollution and depletions anywhere affect everyone and everywhere. Let's take an example. If 10 people living in a room, then if one person is doing something and creating something, then so rest other people will also affect with that. For one person's action also, we are responsible for it. The global corporations, government, and individual accountability go hand in hand for sustainability. So myth number 5 is greenwashing is unavoidable. But the reality is, a lot of company has already started showing their transparent labels, nutrients, and what all the process they do. The consumer can demand a clear, verified data and reducing the misinformation and false claim. Now the blockchain term has came to show the transparency of the process of the product so that consumer will get the clear transparency of the process and the ingredient they are getting in the product. Myth 6 is technology will solve all the sustainable problems. The reality is technology alone cannot solve the sustainability problem. But your mindset, your habit, your behavior can create an impact and solve your problems. And policy reforms are needed. For example, electric car helps if powered by clean energy. Without it, its benefit diminishes. Reducing consumptions and improving energy efficiency are essential complement. Myth number 7, living sustainably means sacrificing comfort. But the reality is sustainable living increases the comfort and convenience. We have lived sustainable and mindful life always before industrialization and modern influence. It was more comfortable life than today. Now myth number 8, sustainability is all about environment. But the reality is sustainability includes the environment, economical, social dimension. Let's explain you with the example of carbon footprint. It's all connected like how your life and action is connected with the environment, economic and social dimension. So myth number 9, recycling alone will solve the problem. But the reality is less than 10% of the plastic waste recycled globally. Recycling alone cannot solve the waste problem because tracing all the plastic waste is impossible. So now the solution are reducing consumption and adapting a circular economy where the products are reused, recycled and refurbished continuously. Where circular economy could add 600 euro billion to the economy. The most important is the conclusion. Debugging myths clears the path of informed decision makings and effective adapt of sustainable practices. I hope after the myth bust enables individual, business person and policymakers to make a meaningful sustainable practices and create an impact. Your mindset, your habits, your perspective, your decision, it's all matters why you are choosing, why you are changing and why you are choosing sustainable lifestyle.